This week on You, Me, and 23.
I was 2 feet from the helicopter and they were putting Malachi in.
Heavenly Father, I've got 23 kids, I can't die.
He was not breathing at all. He was turning completely purple.
And told he's got 3 holes in his heart, he's going to need surgery.
Autumn had texted me and said, he's got Down syndrome.
It's a hard thing to walk away from the hospital and leave your baby there.
I don't know, were you embarrassed or anxious or?
When we first found out, it was a shock. I remember just looking at him and just trying to be okay with it, but I didn't know if I was or not. I still loved him. I looked at him and thought he's still my baby.
Have you been able to bond with him?
He's such a
Since
sweetheart.
the day he's been born. He was not breathing at all. He was turning completely purple. They get him in the room and they're working on him and they're all working in hushed tones. And Autumn had texted me and said, he's got Down syndrome. Now Autumn, once again, she knows the signs to look for. Handed the phone to the doctor and I said, read this text. And it was just like somebody had flipped a light switch in that ER. The doctor says, you know? And I said, well, we know. And then they quit talking in hushed tones. They were able to communicate. They typically don't let the parents ride on the helicopter with the newborns. And the flight nurse says, I don't know, but we can ask the pilot, he's right there. And he looked at me and said, what do you weigh? And I said, exactly 200 pounds. And he made me weigh myself on the scale there in the ER, and it was exactly 200 pounds. And he goes, well, I've never seen that before. He goes, you've earned yourself a ride.
There you go. You know, we got a seatbelt on his side, so we're going to put him through there like that.
So while Colby was gone, meanwhile, I explained what was happening and talked a little bit about Down syndrome and what that meant. And we all had a family prayer. We'll do we call it a circle prayer, where we each take a turn saying a prayer if there's a big situation happening. And so we did that. And then I planned on getting dressed and getting up and going to be with my baby. And all of a sudden I started bleeding like crazy. I've never hemorrhaged before, but I was hemorrhaging. They laid me on the floor, put my feet up, but I passed out a couple of times and I thought I was dying. And I just sat there praying. I said, Heavenly Father, I've got 23 kids, I can't die. That's not an option.
The moment I got that text that says we think we've lost her, I was 2 feet from the helicopter and they were putting Malachi in. And I said a quick prayer, Heavenly Father, what do I do? Because I was scared. And I just heard in my head, it said, go with the baby, I've got your wife. Almost 13 years ago, I sat in the hospital and lost my wife to cancer with a newborn in the NICU.
He was 3 weeks old when she passed away.
The baby was 3 weeks old. Well, Bryson's almost 13 and he's doing fabulous. But it was the hardest thing I'd ever done. So thinking that I may be losing my wife and getting on a helicopter with a newborn to go to a NICU was pretty scary. So I got on the helicopter. They put the headphones on because it's so loud, the baby's behind me. And we're on a helicopter and I don't know if I've just lost my wife. About 10 minutes into the flight, I got a text. I don't know why they texted me, and it was Autumn's friend. Says, it's okay, they've got her under control, the bleeding's under control. So by the time we got to the hospital, I was reassured that Autumn was okay.
Getting ready to take Malachi in for his pre-op stuff. Hey baby. Malachi, hi. You gonna have a rough week? I hope it turns out all okay. We're just praying that he will be able to have the surgery. And we've been saying our prayers, and lots of people have been praying for us, and we're thankful for everybody that's had us on your minds and hearts and been praying for us.
Honestly, I feel like he's a happy, joyful little boy, and he's doing really well. But if his body's outgrowing his heart, then he's got to have that repaired. It still makes me nervous.
This is amazing. The Ronald McDonald House is so neat. And Malachi was charming all the nurses. I think it was the Chubs that won him over. You got daddy? You got daddy? Hard thing to walk away from the hospital and leave your baby there. I know he's in good hands, but
Today we're going to talk about Malachi, your 23rd child.
Yep, number 23. He's the 13th that I gave birth to.
Okay. And what was that whole pregnancy like? What did you find out about Malachi?
So when we got to the NICU, I just... I don't even want to talk about the NICU. It was so hard. I was blessed with angel nurses that were amazing and so compassionate and so just would sit there and listen and talk to you with such kindness and compassion and love, and just I just bless my nurses. They were amazing. But the actual NICU experience is so awful. I don't know if all the hospitals in America are like this, but you're just crammed into this little curtain area, and I mean, your baby's life is at stake, and you have to leave everybody at home to come and be with the baby, and so you're stressing about your kids at home, and then when you go home, you feel guilty for leaving your baby, but there's nowhere for you to sleep. I mean, it's kind of a nightmare. Well, today would have been Malachi's due date. I'm still at the NICU. Just working on decreasing his high flow oxygen. He's at 5 liters today. We got to get him down to 2 before we can start trying to nurse. He's a cutie patootie. And then we got sent home with an NG tube and oxygen, and told he's got 3 holes in his heart. He's going to need surgery sometime between 6 and 9 months old. And wow,
How has that been?
Oh, it's so
it almost
much.
feels like, oh, now it's over. Oh, okay, now it's over. Oh.
So when you get sent home from the NICU, you feel like, yay, we're going home. And then you get home and you realize, I am the nurse 24/7 and weekends and holidays, and there's no break. Nobody's going to come on shift and take over for you, and you're just exhausted. It's so hard. I feel very secluded. It's very alone. Then I went to church yesterday. Heavenly Father just brought to mind all the tender mercies that He was sending my way to help me make it through this trial. My friend Denise randomly called me, and she just said, I just was thinking about you and felt like I needed to call you. And she called me right in this moment when I was sobbing my heart out, because I was like, I can't do this for this much longer. I can't do this. And she called me, and she has a couple of special needs kids herself. And so then later that day, she shows up in my house, and she's got chocolate and just a bag of goodies for me.
That's amazing.
Another friend who also has a special needs child who was born without one ear, and the other ear has problems. And anyway, so he's deaf and is going to have all these surgeries, and he's got some holes. And anyway, so she said she's just a few months down the road farther than me. Her son's just a little bit older, and she brought by brownies and cookies and dinner for my family and just let me talk. And I can't tell you how many moms reached out to me when they found out that I was having that I had a child with Down syndrome. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Every family should have a baby with Down syndrome. Their joy and excitement, and just how much, they will just bear testimony of how much their child with Down syndrome blessed their family and blessed their lives. And so I am looking forward to just watching him grow and all his milestones, however long that takes and whatever that means for him. Colby said, he's just gonna be our little buddy. It's gonna be great. He's just gonna be my best little friend.
All right. Thank you so much for the update. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks. Bye. So they said that they just started the surgery 5 minutes ago, and they had a hard time getting an IV because he's so chunky, which we knew, but they finally got it, and they said they'll call and give us an update when they get on bypass. So they have this whole table set up for Down syndrome awareness. They say to have you write down the name of someone you know with Down syndrome.
We'll be there, thank you. Bye. Everything went good. They're happy with the results so far, so they're gonna start closing him up, and they want us to be at the ICU waiting room in about an hour and a half.
Okay, we just talked with the surgeon and everything went really well with Malachi. Seems like they were able to close up mostly everything and patch up everything they needed to. So we're just...
And no underlying concerns.
Yeah, so we'll get to go see him in about 20 minutes, so... What do you think, Daddy?
I think he's gonna be okay.
We have Malachi here. He's post-op day 4 after his AVSD repair, and we're about to take out his mediastinal chest tube.
Well, we think Malachi is already feeling much better. He's just moving around and wiggling like he's got all the energy in the world, and he was smiling at me. He's got his little thumb out of this splint and he just keeps trying to grab my thumb. When I was pregnant with him, I had this really special experience. I was running with my friend. I love to run, and I was super disappointed because one of the first things that happened when I got pregnant with Malachi was I lost my ability to run. I was really throwing a fit in my mind and my heart. I was so upset not to be able to run, and I just was so sad and angry. And all of a sudden I just felt Malachi's spirit, and he just said, "Mom, I'm so thankful you're doing this for me. I'm so sorry it's so hard, but thank you. Just thank you." And I just felt pure love and gratitude from him like I've never felt. And that is just his soul. I just felt like, okay, I can do this. And I hung on to that moment for the entire pregnancy. And when he was born and I realized he had Down syndrome and the holes in his heart, and that there was going to be some harder things, I realized he didn't just mean the running. He meant all of this. And then as we have gone through this surgery, I just kept thinking that I was just so sorry for him, that it was so hard for him. So hard to see your baby go through surgery, and you just wish you could do it for him, that he didn't have to go through that pain.
So Malachi gets to go home. Today he got off the oxygen. He's doing well. He's still on an NG tube, but we're hoping that a feeding therapist will help him get out of that. And so he's looking good and being happy. And I mean, he's more alert now than he's been, I think, at all.
Are you wide awake today, Malachi? You looking all around? Say hi to Daddy.